Hello everyone, I just wanted to say hi and to encourage you guys. I am so proud of how hard you guys have been working in all of your classes with this new situation that we're all going through together. You guys have been working so hard and I'm very proud of you guys. I am missing you guys so much, and it is my hope that in this season that you guys would continue to grow in your love for theater. So I would encourage you, if you haven't yet already, to work on some of those acting assignments I sent out and just have fun with it. I know that is a big bummer as an acting student to not be able to have a performance at the end of the semester, but I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to have a unique performance in this new situation. So what we're going to do is we're going to be working on those monologues that I sent out in the audition packets, and I would like you guys to choose a monologue that is your favorite and that would challenge you in your acting skills. And you're going to work on that monologue and memorize it to the best of your ability. And we're going to have a performance at the end of the semester via Zoom. So you're going to get to perform that monologue for your peers that way. So throughout this rest of the semester, there are going to be certain challenges that I would encourage you guys to complete. And if you do complete these challenges, there will be a special prize for each student. So this first challenge is to complete the assignment that I sent out for week 4. Okay. So what you're going to do for the assignment is you're going to choose a monologue from the audition packet, okay? And then you're going to read through the monologue a few times just to familiarize yourself. In the directions, I've listed some questions that you can ask yourself. Now, you don't have to type these out and submit them or anything, but I would encourage you to think through the questions so you can familiarize yourself with the character and the scene so you know what you're more familiar and you know what's going on. Once you do that and you think through your monologue, you're going to write your response to these 3 questions. So that is the first challenge, to submit your answer to these 3 questions. So which monologue did you choose? What is your character's objective in the scene? And what tactics does your character use? So what does your character do to get what he or she wants? All right, so I'm going to go over that with you guys so you know exactly what to do. So for your objective, your objective is what your character wants in your scene, okay? So think about, what does your character want from another person in this scene? All right, so I have a sample monologue that we're going to go over together, okay? And I'm going to read it to you guys. All right, so I'm going to read you this monologue, and I'm also going to hold it down there, that way you can see it. Okay, so the character is Danny, and he says, "Jill, I'm not a bad guy. I don't just like you because of your money. I think you're really pretty too. I mean, and you're nice and sweet, and I like you for you. I wouldn't care if you were poor. Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. I'm serious. Jill, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you on my knees. I love you." So what you're gonna do once you pick your monologue is you're going to, question number 1, you're gonna write which monologue you chose. So easy peasy. After you read it through and you're really familiar with those questions from the previous page that I just showed you, you're gonna write your answers to questions 2 and 3. So objective, all right? Think about the objective as what your character wants from another person in the scene. So Danny, I'm going to say that Danny's objective in this monologue is to convince Jill to marry him or to be with him, okay? So I write down objective, to convince Jill to marry him, okay? So you'll write out your objective just like that. Tactics, all right? So what your character does to get what he or she wants. So think about what your character does to the other character in the scene. All right, now your tactics are going to change, so it's not going to be just one tactic. Most likely it's not going to be just one tactic the whole way through. All right, so I listed mine out here. Now this is a lot of tactics in this one monologue. You probably are not going to have quite as many, okay? But I'm just going to go through what this looks like. Each tactic is an action verb, okay? To excuse, to flatter. These are all verbs. So really quickly, a side note before we begin, it's very important that the first time you read through your monologue, you read it through in as objective as a voice as you possibly can. Now, I didn't really do that when I was reading through. I kind of added a little bit of emotion to it, but you're going to want to actually read your monologue through just straight tone with no emotion, and that way you can really understand what the monologue is without adding any of your own feelings into it. So you want to read it first to understand and then decide what emotions and what feelings should you add into it. Okay, so from the beginning, Jill, I'm not a bad guy. I don't just like you because of your money. All right, so I put here tactics to excuse. He's making excuses. Like, I don't just like you because of your money, and he's making excuses of why else he likes her. So that's the first tactic, to convince why she should marry him. Next tactic, to flatter. So he says, I think you're really pretty. Or, I think you're really pretty too. I mean, and you're nice and sweet, and I like you for you, all right? So he's trying to flatter her and make her feel really good about herself here. So it changes. He's not trying to make excuses anymore, all right? To help you when you write out your tactics, you can actually draw a little line through where each tactic changes. All right, so I wrote a little slash through, okay, where each tactic changes. So every time I draw a slash, that's called a beat. All right, a beat is when your character changes their train of thought or they change tactics, okay? So it's a noticeable pause or change in the monologue. So we have one tactic here, then we have the next tactic. Then the next one is to reassure, okay? I wouldn't care if you were poor. So he's trying to reassure her that either way, he still wants to marry her. Okay, but then it changes. Hey, look at me when I'm talking to you. Okay, so we're going to draw another slash. Okay, so this obviously changes. So he's no longer trying to reassure her. He's trying to get her attention. Okay, so that's the next tactic. I'm serious. He's defending what he's saying. So again, another slash for another beat. Okay? So then we keep going. Jill, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you on my knees. I love you. Okay, so to beg. That last one is a little obvious. So we're going to draw one more slash, and that is how we divide up our tactics. Now, you don't have to submit this with the slashes. I just want these 3 questions, okay? But this is a helpful tool for you when you're acting, so you can remember and visualize what's happening in each beat here. so you can change your train of thought along with your character. Okay, at the bottom of the page, I've given a list of example tactics to choose from. Okay, so that extends to the third page as well. So all of these are action verbs, and these are just examples, so there's actually many more tactics that you can choose from, so don't limit yourself to just this list. Alright, so that is it for our first challenge. I would encourage you guys all to pick a monologue. It's going to be a lot of fun, and all you have to do is submit your 3 questions by next week. Alright, hope to hear from you guys soon. Talk to you later. Bye.